We've started to trust the numbers on screens too much. Today, what we call wealth is nothing more than digits we see on a screen. With a single interest rate decision, with one click of a central banker's mouse, it can simply evaporate. But here's the strange part. People who lived thousands of years ago understood money and wealth far better than we do. For them, money wasn't just paper or symbols. Money meant trust, it meant resources, it meant survival. And the more we forget this truth, the more fragile the world we live in becomes. Take ancient Egypt, for example, a civilization that stood not for centuries but for millennia. Egypt's power didn't come only from gold. The real power was grain. Every year the Nile flooded, nourishing the land. That's why Egypt was the breadbasket of the ancient world. The pharaohs understood this very clearly. If you can't feed people, it doesn't really matter how much gold you have. That's why surplus grain was stored in massive granaries. Those granaries were protected just as fiercely as gold reserves are today. When famine came, these stocks kept society standing. For ordinary people, wealth wasn't something abstract. It was the bread on the table. Now look at today. Even in countries that look rich on paper, people survive on food aid. Egypt's wealth was simple, but it was solid. Then there's Rome. Rome didn't just win wars, it built a system. Its silver coins were trusted for centuries because the silver inside them was actually there. Thanks to this trust, Roman money was accepted everywhere. But then the classic mistake was made. The currency was debased. More money was printed. More things were financed. At first, no one noticed. Then prices rose. People realized what was happening. Trust began to crack. What followed is familiar. Inflation, crisis, heavy taxes. Replace the denarius with the dollar, and the story doesn't change. Rome tells us this: money is money only as long as people trust it. If we move to Mesopotamia, things get even more interesting there. There was credit even before money existed. Debts were written on clay tablets, but there was one thing they understood better than we do. If debt gets out of control, society collapses. Because they knew this, they periodically wiped debts clean. Today, wiping out debt feels like a fantasy. Young people start life in debt, and even states can't imagine a world without it. Babylon wouldn't be surprised by this at all. When we come to the Greeks, there's another lesson. Athens was wealthy, but it didn't rely on a single source. It invested in trade, culture, and naval power. For a while, everything worked. Then came arrogance, excessive power, excessive control, and the balance broke. It ended in war. The lesson is simple. If you put everything in one basket, one day it all breaks. The Mongols are the most surprising example, a nomadic empire, yet they understood trade extremely well. They made the Silk Road secure. As trade flowed, wealth grew. Today we do the opposite. We close routes. We speak through sanctions instead of trade. We've forgotten what was known 800 years ago. The common thread in all these examples is this: real wealth is not numbers, it is resilience. If you have food reserves, you are strong. If you have a trusted currency, you can stand. If debt is under control, society can breathe. If trade routes are open, the economy lives. Today, however, we do the exact opposite. We print unbacked money. We glorify debt. We make the system fragile. And the most dangerous part is this: we confuse real wealth with the illusion of wealth. The lesson from history is clear. The ancients were not primitive. They were more realistic than we are. History doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it punishes similar mistakes. The warning is clear. The question is, will we recognize it and stop this time? If this narrative gave you a new perspective, subscribe. History has far more to say than we think.